Hi guys, good to see you again, welcome back to the channel. Well, it's one of those days today where I just can't seem to find the right composition really that I'm happy with. I've headed out to the New Forest again obviously, and I thought I'd head to one of the streams and try and get some of the last bits of colour in a nice reflection or something, you know, something along them lines. And I got to the stream after about 10-minute walk, and I came across an old stump that was just submerged in the stream. Obviously the stream's running quite high now, and but it was submerged and it had some dead leaves on it. And so I put the polarizer on and thought I'd have a go at it, and just I wasn't keen on it. Polarized or not polarized, it just didn't seem to work. So so then I carried on walking a bit further, and I came across a nice reflection, but the sun's out and it's so harsh today. Well, there's a bit of cloud about now, so the sun does keep disappearing behind cloud, which is a little bit better for woodland. But so yeah, so I found this nice reflection, a little bit more colour, but still not overly happy. Sort of a tatty foreground really. So walked a bit further, found a nice bend. I put it on a 2-second exposure. There was some dead logs, or a dead tree fallen across in the distance across the stream, which sort of led your eye up to the logs. But again, probably too much stream and not enough detail. So I moved on again, and then I came to another bend which was quite colourful, quite a bit of dead bracken about, and on a 2-second exposure there was some nice froth coming round the bend, and it was making some nice leading lines. But again, the sky was a bit harsh in the top of the frame, as you can see here, and there was a little bit of a breeze, so you know, it would have meant bracketing perhaps. So I took a few frames there, and then I walked on a bit further. Right, I just want to quickly stop the video there and just chat a little bit about what I was doing wrong yesterday when I was in the forest. I was just in search of that perfect composition, and you guys know as much as I do, finding that perfect composition, it's nigh on impossible. Some days are better than others, but this particular image, one of the first images I'd taken, the one that I've just gone over, and I just wrote it off at the side of the stream. I looked at it, I must have given it 5-10 minutes. Yes, I walked around and looked for the right composition, but I didn't give it enough time. I didn't take my time. I was rushing to carry on walking down the stream and find that great composition. That I looked at this and I never really thought, and this is a big lesson that I've learnt lately, I never really looked at the image, studied it on the back of the camera, or even looked at it, checked out what I'd captured, and then thought about post-processing. Now I know some guys aren't keen on post-processing, but this particular image, I got home last night, having made that video, got home, put the video together, looked at the images again, and I thought, with a little bit of post, this can actually be an okay image. And I quite regret not taking my time more. This is the big thing I'm trying to get to, is take your time at your wherever you are, the certain scene you're at. Don't write it off straight away. Have a look round, have a rest, put your camera down, have a cup of coffee if you've got a flask or whatever, and then reevaluate. And sometimes you can see past what you've already written off and look into it. So obviously I got this in Photoshop last night in Lightroom, and as you can see on the screen here, I've cropped a good inch or so off the top of the image here. And what I mentioned in the video was that the sky was too bright. Obviously it was sunny, there was a lot burnt out on this frame, but just by cropping the top inch or so off the frame, and then darkening off this area, the area that I was concerned with, and deepening the reds and taking some of the yellow out, and just darkening off that area has actually worked in my favour, and it's made the image more desirable, if you like. Obviously I've given it a boost of colour as well, and I've brought in highlights in this area here, because the sun was obviously shining from my left, so I've brought in the highlights here. I've lightened up the stream quite a lot, darkened off this edge, because I think on a previous image of the stream I'd commented that there was too much stream involved here. Well, just by cropping a bit off, I wanted to leave these grasses in. I've brought the highlights up and took the shadows down a bit so that your eye goes straight from the base of the image and up into the main area of the scene where the bend is. I've highlighted the foam a bit, and after a good half an hour or 3/4, I was quite upset with myself that I wrote this off, you know, because had I looked at it and just settled down and stopped and took my time, I could have done a piece on this particular scene. I could have videoed it and shown you guys exactly what the rest of it was like. But no, I was rushing about, not rushing, but I knew the stream went on for about another mile, so I thought there'll be another place, and that kept happening. And so I just wanted to emphasise by just stopping this video quickly and just saying, slow down, take your time, really assess the scene that you've perhaps already wrote off, have another look, and then when you've really figured it out, then perhaps move on. I moved on too quickly here, but anyway, you'll see from the rest of the video that I carried on moving too quick. So yeah, big lesson learned, slow down and really check out your scene. Right, let's jump back into the video. I took a few frames there, and then I walked on a bit further and I found a nice pile of gravel in the middle of a stream that I could jump onto. So I tried that at landscape, and again, too much sky, so I had to go at a portrait, and and it's just not happening. So carried on walking down the stream a bit and came across a nice a different variety of fern or bracken, and it's obviously still quite lush and green. So I had that in the foreground of the frame, obviously in portrait, as you can see here. About 2-second exposure again, and although there's quite a bit of colour, I still wasn't overly happy. So I carried on a bit further, and that's all I've been doing, following the stream and trying to find the right composition, but it's proving really difficult today. You know, you look at it and you think, oh, that's nice, and then you get the camera set up and you take a few frames and nah. So I've moved on again. Then I found this nice frame of quite a nice colourful birch or beech, one of the two. I think it's a beech actually. Nice reflection in the water, but again, composition wise, just not great. So anyway, I also wanted to, let's carry on walking. I'll find some eventually. But I also wanted to let you know about the Canon camera app that I've started using. And if I can find a nice composition, or even if I can't, I'll just put the 70-200 on. And I've just been using the app as a shutter release, basically. So luckily on the 5D Mark IV, I think a lot of the newer bodies now have got Wi-Fi enabled, so you can link up the app and you can control the shutter from the app, which saves using a remote shutter release or anything like that. So hopefully, I'm going to put the 70-200 back on in a minute, and I'll find something that's half decent to photograph, and I'll quickly show you the app that I've been using. Well, still not found a composition yet, but I have just found this rutting stand. Crikey, they've been busy here, look. Really busy. I think it was quite noisy here for a week or two. Obviously the stags commanding their area and shouting all the hinds in, but yeah, so that's a rutting stand, as you can see. But anyway, I have just found, I think, a nice little beach, and I'll get the 70-200 set up. It's not a very good frame, but I just want to show you that app quickly. Right, so on the Canon 5D Mark IV, we want to be in the yellow menu, and then it's in bank number 4, in communication settings, built-in wireless settings. I've got it on disable, so we'll go to enable, hit OK, and now we're ready to go. Right, so I'm all connected up now. I've paired the two together. There is one final step to take on the camera, but I didn't want to bore you with that one, guys. The camera gives the phone a 10-figure encryption code, which I've typed in. Now we're all set and ready to go. I'm in the first screen of the app, so we're just going to OK that, hit remote live view shooting, and it's linked up to the phone, as you can see. So if I turn the camera, it turns the screen. So we're all sorted. That's how I want my composition to be. Now, it's a great app. You can totally control everything. So I can turn the ISO up and down, f-stop, 1 second. So if I turn that up, you'll probably see the screen going lighter. Yeah, we're going lighter, so I think we want about a second at the minute. We are losing light. It's about 3:30 now and it's gone quite dark. So, but anyway, so we're all rigged up. Now, like I've said before, I've been out before and forgotten my remote shutter release. So when I'm on the 70 to 200, I always shoot on a 10-second shutter delay. Just stops any wobble, because obviously there's quite a lot of weight on the top of the tripod and it just stops any wobble. So I'll hit the shutter release, it gives itself 10 seconds and then takes. Whereas with this, there's no waiting. Obviously it's quite a nice calm day today. Nothing's going to be touching the camera, so I can basically hit the button and off it goes. And it's great, you know that everything's nice and still. You've not touched the shutter button and it's great. I'm really going to start using the app a lot more now. I might even stop using my remote shutter release unless I want to use it on bulb or something, you know. But yeah, so I'd highly recommend that. Obviously this is Canon. I'm sure Nikon do them and Sony. I think there's apps for all the different brands now. And yeah, trying to move forward a bit with the tech, I suppose. But yeah, I was sat chatting to a good friend and fellow photographer, Steve Paston. He's got a YouTube channel, incidentally. I'll put a link to his YouTube channel in the description below. Yeah, and we were just talking about, just putting the world to rights really, and talking about how we can use tech to our advantage in our photography. And he said, oh, do you use your app, your Canon app? And I said, no, I don't actually. I have got it, because I did actually get it originally to control the M50 that you guys are on now. And I was controlling that when I was filming the Fox Cubs back in spring round at mother-in-law's, and I had the M50 rigged up round the corner from where I was with the 400, and I could watch for when the Cubs came out on my camera. So that was really handy for that, because obviously it's live view. So I knew that the Cubs were coming out, and then I could get ready with the 400. So I'd already got the M50 rigged up, so now I've got the 5D Mark IV rigged up, and yeah, I should be using that a lot. So I'd highly recommend downloading the app for whatever camera you've got. I know on my 7D Mark II, I've got, in fact I put it in my pocket to show you, I've got a little WE1 Wi-Fi adapter, and I know if I put that into my 7D, although it's not, the Wi-Fi is not built into my 7D Mark II, I put the adapter in, and then I can have that Wi-Fi enabled as well. So but most bodies now, I mean the 7D Mark II's, I don't know, 5-7 years old, probably even older than that perhaps, but I think most bodies now are Wi-Fi enabled. So yeah, just link it up and away you go. And yeah, it's brilliant. Ignore the composition. I just chose this nice shaped beach and with a bit of colour, but just to show you how this works. But yeah, we'll see what we can make of that. But yeah, so I'm at a second exposure, f11 at ISO 100. And I say it's great, you can alter it all from your phone. So anyway, I'm babbling on. So yeah, I'd highly recommend downloading the app for your phone. Well, that's that. I'm sorry there's not any good quality images in this week's video, guys, but hopefully you can make use of that app if you want to download it, you know. So yeah, it's really handy, that. But yeah, one of them days today. This part of the forest, first time I've been here really, and I've drove through it but not scouted around, and yeah, quite difficult to find a decent composition really. But so I'm going to call it a day today now. The light is definitely going, it's about 3:45, so, but it's just been a pleasure to be out as always. But anyway, better luck next time, as they say. But thanks ever so much for watching, guys. Anyway, if you can remember to hit the like button and like the video, that's the best way of helping out the channel, that'd be much appreciated. And hit that subscribe button if you haven't yet, that'd be great. And yeah, drop us a line and let us know how you're getting on at the minute. Hope you're all okay during lockdown. certainly a different lockdown, a bit more relaxed this one by the looks of it now. A week's gone by, you know, so the roads aren't much quieter, to be fair, but I don't know how it is where you are, but hopefully you're all keeping good anyway. So yeah, let me know and get in contact. It's always good to hear from you guys. And yeah, job's a good one. Thanks ever so much for watching, guys. Take care. Catch up soon.
Thank you.